In September of 2019, a small team of chefs, mixologists, and designers set out to open a restaurant for one night only, inside the hollowed-out remains of an abandoned church. Driven by a shared desire to embolden their community, they'll combine urban-farmed ingredients with the handcrafted legacy of Roca Patrón. Together, they're going.
My mom would love this, me just drinking in a church. I mean, to be honest, she would be happy that I'm in church at all, so to you, Sharon. I believe that you should know where you are in the world when you're eating, in terms of what the dining is, or who's serving you, or like what the attitude is and the ambiance.
I've been working in restaurants since I was 18. I just always looked over at the bar area and just kind of thought that the bartenders were having the most fun and, in my mind, making the most money, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case anymore. If you think about the best meals that you've had in your life or the best drinks you've had in your life, I will guarantee that almost all of them are tied into an experience. But everything, obviously, from the lighting to the music to the ingredients you use to the people you're with.
You have to really be dedicated to want to live here and do a business and like do it the right way.
People have been through a lot. There's a real pride from people who feel like they stuck it out when other people maybe gave up on it.
You know, as a chef, this is the only place I would ever have a restaurant because it felt really natural to me, right? My history, my heritage. Of my 4 grandparents, 3 of them are 100% Irish. My mom's grandparents met at the Gaelic League in Corktown as Irish immigrants. And then my dad's father actually came over through Canada during the potato famine, his family did. And they grew up actually a few blocks away from the restaurant that I now have there. So that started our journey for what we're doing here.
You know, I've only been here for 2.5 years, and even, you know, in the short time that I've been here, I see so much change and growth. People just kind of really excited about things that are happening here. Of everything that Detroit's been through, it really just kind of became like a blank slate where really you could do anything you wanted in terms of having a pop-up, a legal restaurant for like a weekend at some abandoned warehouse. Art and all of those things were really allowed to flourish here just because there wasn't anyone to tell them no. I think that what you're seeing now is really a direct culmination of the ability to let your imagination and creativity run wild. So, yeah.
Really wanted to be right in town and not go outside into a farm for this one. We wanted to bring the farm kind of closer here and bring food in to the city, into downtown. Something that felt more of the spirit of Detroit, how hardworking it is, somewhere where you could just sit and be in awe of your surroundings still. And I think they found that here, and we wanted to make it really beautiful and honor the space itself. For events like this, but also any new menu items that we would put on the menu, it's just like starting from when you can really say this is the type of food we do and this is why. Staying true to what we would do, you know, at the restaurant, flavor-wise, preparation-wise, which is very rustic but true to ingredients.
Working with Chef Kate the way that I have, and I see not only the actual final product that sits in front of you, but the local farm that it comes from and respect that every single ingredient gets. I think that Roca is a really perfect pairing for that because I have luckily seen firsthand the intentionality of all of those ingredients and how they're prepared, the way that it arrives to the glass in front of you. Product made with a lot of love and respect for the tradition of tequila making.
I've worked with Jonathan for a year at not only Lady of the House, but also Candy Bar, and when we were approached about doing this dinner, I was like, oh, Jonathan would be perfect because he does a lot with tequila cocktails, and he's one of, if not the best, but the top 3, sort of like dealer's choice bartenders in the city of Detroit.
So I just really love using Roca Patrón in cocktails, and I think that you see so many people who will immediately discount a cocktail on your menu because it has tequila in it. Like a really great example is I basically have like a espresso martini on the menu here that I'm using Reposado tequila for. And the people who kind of take a risk on it can really see how those really beautiful flavors just line up really perfectly with that drink. Kind of in the same way that you have an intention behind how you use ingredients, you also have an intention behind how you taste things, how you approach something. Instead of just eating it or drinking it, what does this actually smell like? What does this actually taste like? What does this thing remind me of?
It really just makes sense when you're putting so much thought and detail into all of these other areas. They're like, oh yeah, we can do something with this. The further you go into it and into, wanting to support your community, starting with these farmers, some of them had never farmed before and just were trying to beautify their neighborhood, or keep it safe, or like actually grow food for their community. So really wanting to support that. We're making food and hopefully making people feel special, but to me, that's really the real work.